Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It has been about 2 weeks since we've done one of these, and that is because I have been sick. You can hear it in my voice visibly that I have been sick. I have not been able to record anything due to a massive sore throat, congestion, a very bad cough. So, because of that, we are going to put Gankutsuo on the back burner because I want to fit it all into 1 month, and we can't do that if we only have 2 weeks left in the month. So instead, I just started cycling through a bunch of shows which I could find to see which one I wanted to do. Originally, it was going to be Jinsei, but I got 3 episodes into that show, and I was very, very, very bored. So, Shotaro Morikuba does show up in that show, and he is, of course, the best thing in that show, but it's not enough content for me to talk about individually. I probably will do a full-on Laine versus on that show when I'm finished, because I'm still watching through that show, because some shows I'm going to do aren't going to be episode by episode. Maybe there'll be one big review of the show. Maybe it's a show I've already talked about, which I want to talk about again, but for whatever reason, I don't want to go back through episode by episode. But in this case, I think it's just going to be an overview of the show. I didn't like it so far. It's very boring, but we'll see when we get to the end. But today, we are talking about 11 Eyes, a show I have been meaning to go back to because I watched it when I was younger in high school. My best friend, who is in another state now, but that's neither here nor there, is the reason I know this show. Thank you, B. I love you. But this is a show I've wanted to revisit for a while, so I think we're going to do that. The main premise of the show, and where we start, is that Kakeru lives with his childhood friend Yuka. First watch, I thought they were actual siblings. I thought she was like his little sister. But no, they are just childhood friends. They grew up together because when he was little one day, something happened. Like, his sister apparently died, and chains sprouted up in wings, and something insane happened, and he got hurt because of it, but he hasn't seen her since. They thought she was dead, but we keep seeing her in the background, so we know she's not dead. So he goes to school with Yuka and his other two friends, who I'm not really going to talk about because they are not relevant. And one day, while walking home, he and Yuka, while somehow holding hands, everything goes wonky, everything goes photorealistic, and then when they wake up, they're in this weird world where the sky is all red, the moon is covered by this black cloud, and they are being attacked by monsters, like creepy, admittedly really creepy looking, like tentacle blob monsters. Yuka screams, everything, and faints, everything goes back to normal. So somehow she is tied to this world. We don't know how. Also, we learn through banter that Kakeru wears an eye patch because his left eye is a different color. I'm assuming it has something to do with this world. I haven't watched this show in years, so I don't remember exactly what it was, but it has some kind of connection. Also, it's very clear that Yuka has feelings for Kakeru, because they spend a lot of time together, and other characters keep asking if she's dating him, so she likes him a lot. So Yuka faints again one day in class, and then one day when they're in the park, they see his sister Kukuru, who again was presumed dead, and they revert back to this world, and they are attacked again by the blob monsters. I'm assuming the redheaded girl who we keep seeing is going to save them because she is a big part of the show. And obviously, from the intro, we know she has a sword, so she's going to come and save them. Also, there's a transfer student named Shiori, who, as I remember, is very funny because she's very blunt, and I like the fact that she just shuts down his friend's advances and just tells him to fuck off without even thinking about it. It's so awesome. There's also a girl a blonde girl and her friend, who, as I recall, she has feelings for, but they're not going to become relevant until later. Also, I just no, I'm not going to talk about him yet because he becomes relevant later in the series. But anyway, so far very interesting. I like the fact that the show gives you just enough to piece together that something is wrong. I also like the fact that they're not like pulling powers out of their ass immediately, because in most of these shows, like, he would pull a sword out of nowhere and start fighting the monsters with a sword. But no, they are helpless. They are powerless. They don't know what's going on. I think that's a good subversion, and I like this. And one thing I realized is this show taught me to watch ending credits, because I did not watch the ending credits the first time. My best friend told me there was stuff after the credits, but by the time he told me that, it was over. The show was over. So now I'm watching at the end, and Takaru is putting up cut. I keep saying Takaru, but I mean Kakaru is putting up a fight of his own, and that's very noble. The animation is not great. It's very bland, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. I'll take bland animation with great action over really stylized animation where the action sucks. And that's it for today. Tomorrow, we will also go back to the seasonal bits because I have enough energy to start doing those again. And yeah, that episode 1 of 11 Eyes. Guys, very, very good. I think it drags a lot in parts because they spend a lot of time walking around. But you know what? That's fine. I don't really care.